What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And in today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about why banks are no longer funding loans for Hellcats and ScatPacks and even RTs. It's because they're used. Guys, before I get into today's video, I got to talk about the sponsors here at the channel, and that is Morgan & Morgan Attorneys at Law. If you're looking for a personal injury attorney, you're not going to find any larger than Morgan & Morgan, handling over 20 million phone calls just last year alone. When they put that sign on the billboard, the size matters, they mean it. They're the largest personal injury law firm on planet Earth. And I say Earth being funny because they will earth slam the insurance companies when they need to. They have the pockets, the attorneys, the ability to go toe-to-toe with pretty much anybody. You can get started in 8 clicks or less from one of these cool little smartphones by going to forthepeople.com/TK's Garage. Again, that's forthepeople.com/TK's Garage. And I appreciate them for allowing me to do what I do. So guys, not a really long video. I just want to get into, I had somebody in the comments go, well, why won't banks write loans at MSRP anymore on Hellcats? I got 4 emails with customers that have tier 1 credit. If you don't know what that means that they have like a 700 plus score with low debt to income, okay? Meaning they have almost no debt, great income, maybe a couple of houses, assets. They are tier 1 credit. Now, I know you're going to say, well, what does that mean? It means that you could pretty much go in and sign for whatever you want 2 years ago. Right now, they can still go in and get a loan. Don't get it twisted. It's just not going to be with acceptable terms. We all have that friend, or we all know that person that doesn't care and just wants a ScatPack and will go sign at 26.5% interest just so they can get the car and have a $1,700 a month payment on a $52,000 car and are paying all that interest up front. Absolutely dumb, stupid. Now, what's happening now is the banks are now telling the dealers, we're not giving you MSRP. In fact, we're not giving you 85% of MSRP, and it's a simple word, lot rot. These cars, a majority of them, especially the RTs, I don't even want to get into the GTs. Some of these GTs were manufactured all the way back in August and September of 2022. Now they have a 2023 model year on them, because that's how it works. Every year, the new model year comes out. We're going to see 2025 Chargers dropping here in another month or two at dealerships as 2024. So you got to figure, right? 2022, 23, 24. These cars are over 2 years old. They've been sitting. They're not the banks don't want to deal with it. Because the longer a car sits, gets lot rot, more issues can pop up. Right? Meaning more risk for the bank, because you can have a customer that just goes, F it, I'm not dealing with that. If they're not tier 1, great credit and care about their credit, somebody that has a 670 credit score might just be like, F it, F that car. Y'all can just keep it. Banks are not doing that. I'll tell you why. One in particular, a massive one that does lots of auto loans, Wells Fargo, we've talked about it. They are very clear that they are no longer doing MSRP deals on anything from Dodge. Not a damn thing. Nothing. Zero. They're not doing it because these cars are old. They're old, meaning they're 18 months to 2 years old. They're no longer a new car. To you, it's new because it's never been titled to the state, to your insurance company. It's a new car. To the banks, it is a depreciating asset that is now 2 years old and hasn't sold. You know what happened back in the day with trucks and stuff that would sit around and they were there after the next model year? You could get like 30% off of MSRP, like below invoice, just to buy the truck because they couldn't get rid of it. They knew if they sent it to Manheim or sent it to auction, they're not going to get what they would get if they sold it to you at 30% under sticker. So that's what you're going to start seeing now. Now, I saw a video from Racer X he had a couple of weeks ago from a dealership down in Florida. They had a whole lot full of Hemis and all that other crap. ScatPacks, Hemis, even Hellcats. The reason why they're sitting, and to be clear, in that area, Naples, that area of Florida, the majority of the residents there have Tier 1 credit. They're not buying these cars because they're now old. They're 2 years old. What do you expect? You think somebody that understands finance and money is going to go in and buy a car that's 2 years old, that's been sitting for 18 months, that has extensive lot rot, for example, tires that are going to have flat spots, maybe contaminated fluids or other issues that are going to happen with vehicles that you let just friggin' sit. And this is the thing that the dealers don't get through their damn heads. Now, I just saw a video at the time of me recording this from Lucky Lopez. Lucky Lopez just dropped a video that said no more auto loans. And I know a lot of you guys will say, oh, that's impossible. That's never going to happen. It's happened before. It happened in 2008 during the housing crash where, you couldn't go get, even if you had Tier 1 credit, the interest rate was dumb. And it's the same thing now. Somebody like myself, if you have Tier 1 credit and you go into a dealership, even through the manufacturer, unless you're one of these 0% things, which I've talked about before, you're going to pay 4.9 to 7.9%. The days of 2.9, 1.9 free money, that's gone. All right. And they front load the loans with interest. So literally, unless you're making like 1.5 to 2 payments every month on your vehicle, you're literally paying all of that interest up front for them to just sell your loan to somebody else and repeat the process. It's great. If you're going through a manufacturer like BMW Financial or Chrysler Capital, probably not. Chrysler Capital, I believe, is serviced by Santander. And I know Stellantis has their own bank that they're doing now, and they're doing this. But I thought this was interesting, and I wanted to bring it up because I had a lot of people asking me why it is that banks won't write notes. Why, I had somebody email and say, why won't my credit union or my bank? This car is immaculate. It's a limited number car in a Dodge Charger Hellcat Daytona. Right? It was like one of 300, I believe. Right? Why won't they write me this loan? I have Tier 1 credit. They only will fund, and the bank. And I'll tell you who the bank was. It was a credit union. It was Navy Federal. Navy Federal will only fund 85% of the sticker on that car. And the dealer wants $5,000 over sticker for the Daytona. Same dealer, and this is not in Napleton, but same dealer that had this vehicle was trying to get $35,000 to $40,000 and nobody was biting on it. Or could have been the fact that nobody could get financed on it and nobody was coming out of pocket 30 or 40 grand. Now they're at a point where they're just trying to get $5,000 over. Not going to happen. It's been sitting on their lot 172 days. That floor plan is eating their ass up right now. And it's going to continue. That's the thing. You're going to start seeing, the way we're seeing repos right now for customers' cars, and we talked about the dealer in the Midwest that just had all their inventory taken like this, by their floor plan, they executed that shit and took all their cars. Now, it's going to happen more. You're going to see dealerships go bankrupt. I guarantee it. It's going to happen. Because as this floor plan stuff just keeps building up and dealers are just stubborn, waiting for that customer to come in instead of selling the customer you have there, get some of those cars off the floor plan. Get the shit off your books. They're hoping to just be scumbaggy and get that extra little bit of money on each one of these cars instead of just closing the deal. Because then what happens is this. They'll do a spot delivery. Yeah, you're approved. You're good to go. Because they see you have good credit. And then they send you out the door with the car, right? And you're driving home, you're excited, and then they have you come back in. You agreed to 4.9%, but now they need you to come back in, and it's going to be 6.5% through this other bank. And they have and now they need some other particulars. They need 6 months of bank statements from you and all this other shit. Once you sign a deal, and this is just one piece of advice for you as a consumer, do not accept a spot delivery. Make sure that the deal is done. If they can't keep those terms and they ask you to come back from the dealership, be willing to walk away from the car. If you're not willing to do it, you're going to get screwed. And the dealers know it. They know they have you. Oh, he's attached. He's going to love this thing. And you leave in the car. And then they come back and they add 2%, 3%. Oh, you already love the car. Da, da, da. No. Walk away. Walk away. Anyways, wanted to give you guys an update on that because I found it very interesting, and I wanted to address the subscriber's question, a customer's question at a dealer of, why can't I get financed for this Daytona? Why can't I get financed for a Dodge Charger RT? Because the banks know that these are now no longer new cars. They've been sitting for 2 years, 18 months in some cases. They're no longer new. I mean, are there some that are like 5 months old, 6 months old that just rolled off? Of course. But a majority of the ones that are sitting have been sitting for over 18 months. Go look them up. Go look at the VIN numbers yourself. Go take a look at the dealer, and you'll see that some of these cars have been sitting for well over a year. And the banks are not financing those. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.